Hey guys, welcome back to Vandals. I'm just gonna get right into it. So to start off, I am priming my client's face with the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm just to get a tacky base. And then I'm going in with the Josie Marin Intense Argan Oil, and I'm just putting that under her eyes kind of as a base. She has pretty dry skin, so I like to hydrate extra well. And then I'm going in with my e.l.f. primer. It's the illuminating primer, and I'm just putting that on the high points of her face for like a little highlight, and that'll be under her foundation. It'll like peek through. It's really beautiful. Next, going in with Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the shade Medium. This is like a very peachy color, so I'm using this to correct any darkness under her eyes. And I'm just placing that under her eye, and then I am using my L'Oreal sponge to blend it out. Next, I'm going in with my Photo Focus foundation from Wet n Wild, and I just place it on there with a little spatula, and I'm pouncing it in with the sponge once again. I love this sponge, it's so good. Now going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm placing that under her eyes and also bringing it up on the sides of her nose a little bit. And this is going to help for when we contour her nose. It's going to make it look really small. And also putting that where we want to highlight her face. Then going in with my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm just taking that on a little brush and kind of blending it underneath the Shape Tape, just because it's a little bit thinner of a concealer and it's going to help that thick Shape Tape concealer to blend out a little bit easier. And again, going in with my L'Oreal sponge and blending it all out. You want to make sure when you're blending, if you have creases under your eyes, you want to make sure you're blending inward and outward, and this is really going to help prevent creasing later on in the day if you're blending both ways. Not sure why, but it just helps. And then I had her look up until I got my powder, and I'm just setting the under eyes with my RCMA powder. And again, you want to set going inward and then outward with your sponge and that powder. And we're just going to let that bake for a little while. Next, going in with my Essence Sun Club bronzer. I made her smell it because it smells so good. And I'm putting that on her cheekbones, underneath her cheekbones and her forehead, and just kind of bronzing all over. This is a really nice color. I think it's the darker one, but it's gorgeous. And it smells good, and it's like so creamy. It's the best. And then taking a cooler tone bronzer and just contouring her nose, snatching that nose to death. We're just going to make it disappear real quick. And then I go back in with the baking powder and a little brush, and I just kind of like clean up any edges of that bronzer, and it's really going to make the nose look tiny. And then I'm just going to dust off all that bake, or more so press it into the skin with a little brush. Then just going over that nose contour with my sponge, and this is just going to make it look a little bit more natural and not too obvious or anything like that. And then since she has such nice brows already, I just took my eyebrow gel. It's the L'Oreal one. I always forget what it's called, but I just ran that through and it filled in most of her brows. We had a little appearance from the baby. So I primed her lids with the Age Rewind concealer, and then I just set her lids with a cream shadow. And then going in with my 25A Morphe palette and my E27 brush, I'm taking the peachy shade in the left hand corner, and I'm just putting that in her crease. And since we're doing a halo eye, I focus it on the outer corner first, bring it up into the crease, and then focus it on the inner corner, leaving the middle of her eye blank. And you just want to slowly build up that color. Next, going in with these two shades, mixing them in, and I'm just going to do the same exact thing, pack it on the outer corner of her eye, and then you're going to pack it on the inner corner of the eye and then connect the two in the crease. And again, just building up those colors bit by bit. You want to build it up slowly so that the blendability is a lot easier to work with and everything's very smooth, no choppy lines or anything like that. So just make sure you're doing little by little. And then going back in, of course, with your blending brush and going over everything. Then going back in with an even darker brown and doing the same exact thing. Again, taking a little bit of that product and slowly working it into the crease. And blend it out again. Blend, blend, blend. This look has a lot of blending. Now I'm going in with this flat shader brush from Morphe, and I'm taking that really it's like an old gold shade. It's gorgeous, and I'm just popping that on the center of her lid, right where we left that empty space. And I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus as well, so it really intensified that shadow. And then right on top of that, I'm taking the You Glow Girl highlight from J-Cat Beauty in the shade White Goddess, and I'm just popping that right in the center of that gold. And this is just really going to help it pop and give like a little bit of light to the center of her eye, and it's just going to give it a little extra something something. And then going back in with that reddish brown shade, and I'm just going over the edges of the gold to really make sure there's no visible lines of where we place it. It just kind of all blends together. And then I started to do her lower lash line, and I forgot I wanted her to put some black liner on her waterline and also on her lash line, because I wanted to use the shadow to really smudge it out. So I just had her place it kind of messily on there. And then I'm taking a little e.l.f. contour brush, and I took the brown shade and the reddish brown shade, and I mixed the two, and I just ran that under her lash line, smoked it out. And then taking my Mario Badescu Rose Water, and I'm spraying her whole face to set those powders, and then going back in with that same highlight, the J-Cat Beauty highlight in White Goddess, and I'm placing that on the top of her cheekbones and her forehead to give a glow, and then the tip of her nose, of course, per usual. Also taking that on her brow bone, right under her brow, just to kind of clean up that shadow and make her brows pop a little bit. And in the inner corner of her eye as well. And then taking my favorite Luminoso Milani blush and just popping that in between the highlight and the contour. And then I went in with my NYX HD Banana Powder, and I'm just taking that on my little brush and kind of brightening up her under eye. And then I also took it on the sponge, which helps intensify that brightness, and I just kind of packed it on there as well. Now for lips, I first went in with a random lip liner, and then I took the NYX Abu Dhabi matte lip cream, I think is what it's called. I got a little on her too. She's such a pain in my ass. Damn, just like focus, girl. Stop trying to talk and laugh when I'm doing your lipstick. Damn. So I just placed that Abu Dhabi right on top of that lip liner. And then right in the center, I went in with the same NYX matte lip cream, but in the shade London. And this is just a little bit more of a nude, and I placed that in the center of her lips to kind of give that pouty, more nude effect. Still trying to talk while I do it. Then I forgot I wanted to add something to the lower lash line. I just took that same gold shade and a tiny brush, and I popped that in the center of her lower lash line to kind of mimic the top eye. And then also went in with the White Goddess highlighter and put that right on top in the center. And then I just had her do her mascara, and that was the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And peace and blessings.
I like roly, roly, roly with a dab of ranch. You know, now that Banna's gone, I could tell you all her dirty secrets. She wets the bed. She wears granny panties. She smells like pickles. She also licks her cats clean. Like, serious. But she's a great person, don't get me wrong. She's just a little weird. Just kidding. So to all my fans out there in the world, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Stop.
Honestly, this is my channel. I'm not even that good at makeup, but I can do mascara. So if you want several tutorials on mascara, I'm your girl.
You're such a freak.